I invited my daughter's friend over for dinner like I had many times before. By the end of the night, I got an angry phone call from her mother accusing me of starving her child over what I served for dinner. Now I'm wondering if I really did something wrong. About a month ago, my teenage daughter had one of her friends over after school. It wasn't planned, but the girls were having fun together and she asked if she could stay for dinner before going home. I called her mother, explained the situation, and made sure she was comfortable with it. She said yes, thanked me, and we agreed on what time I'd drive her home later that evening. I genuinely love having my daughter's friends around. I grew up in a home where there was always room for one more person at the dinner table, so I've always tried to do the same. Whenever kids come over, I make them feel welcome and feed them whatever I'm cooking that day. That particular evening, I had already planned to make one of my favorite meals from home, Venetian-style liver. I grew up in northern Italy, in the Veneto region, where liver isn't considered strange at all. In fact, it's something people are proud of. My parents cooked it often, restaurants served it regularly, and even though it isn't exactly cheap, people order it simply because they enjoy it. To me, it has always been a comforting family meal, no different from pasta or risotto. So I prepared dinner exactly as I normally would. I cooked the liver with onions, served it alongside vegetables and bread, and everyone in my family happily started eating. My daughter's friend looked a little surprised when she realized what it was. She politely took one bite, paused for a second, and quietly admitted she really didn't like it. She didn't complain, make a face, or act rude in any way. She was honestly incredibly respectful about it, especially for a teenager. She simply couldn't bring herself to eat another bite. I didn't want to force her, so I immediately offered her fruit, crackers, snacks, and a few other things we had around the house to hold her over until she got home. She happily accepted them. We all continued chatting. The girls laughed together the rest of the evening, and nothing seemed awkward at all. I drove her home at the agreed time, wished her a good night, and honestly thought everything had gone perfectly fine. The next afternoon, my phone rang. It was her mother. Before I could even say hello properly, she started yelling at me. She said her daughter came home starving because I had promised to feed her but had only offered her what she called a disgusting liver dish. She told me she couldn't believe I would serve something like that to someone else's child, and said she'd seriously think twice before ever letting her daughter come to our house again. I was completely blindsided. Until that phone call, it had never even crossed my mind that serving liver could be considered offensive or irresponsible. I completely understand that not everyone likes it. It's definitely one of those foods people either love or hate, kind of like black licorice, blue cheese, or strong coffee. But because of the way I grew up, I never saw it as unusual or inappropriate to serve to guests. Looking back, maybe I should have asked if she'd ever eaten liver before or prepared something simpler knowing she wasn't family. At the same time, I didn't ignore her once I realized she didn't like it. I never forced her to finish it. I immediately gave her other food to snack on, and I made sure she wasn't uncomfortable for the rest of the evening. What surprised me the most was that her daughter handled the situation far more maturely than her mother did. The girl was polite, grateful, and never complained once while she was in my home. If her mother had calmly explained that her daughter wasn't comfortable eating organ meat, I would have completely understood and apologized for the misunderstanding. Instead, I was made to feel like I'd intentionally tried to starve someone else's child over a meal that's been part of my family's culture for generations. Now I'm genuinely wondering if I missed some obvious social rule, or if this whole situation was blown way out of proportion. Leave a like if you've ever served a meal that someone unexpectedly hated. Comment Team Mom if you think I did nothing wrong, or ask first if you think I should have checked before serving liver to someone else's child.